welcome to the Home and Finance Show. I'm Diana Rice Wilkerson with Fairway Independent Mortgage. Joining me is my co-host.
Good morning, I'm Janice Bradley, broker owner of JB Real Estate Consultants.
Today we have a wonderful guest. We're going to be talking to Cheryl Taylor, who is with First Merchants Bank. First Merchants just opened a branch in Avondale Meadows, and they are doing wonderful things over there in the community. And Janice encountered our friend Cheryl Taylor, and then from that discussion led to, you know what, we think that the community would really benefit from knowing what's going on in the Avondale Meadows area and what First Merchants is doing. And so Cheryl is our guest today. How are you, Cheryl?
Hi, Diana. I'm doing great. Thank you both so much for having me on today. You all are just a couple of ladies that I so admire about all the work that you do in the community, and you're so focused on helping people achieve financial stability and home ownership. So I'm glad to be able to talk with you today.
Awesome.
Thank you for that.
Yes.
All righty, so I guess on with the show, Cheryl. So tell a little bit about yourself with First Merchants and just how excited you are about this program, please.
Okay, absolutely. So I joined the team at First Merchants just about a year ago, back in February of 2020. And when the opportunity came along, I was really excited. I was looking for a chance to be a little more mission focused in my career. And my position as a community home lending officer has really provided that. I work with low to moderate income home buyers, work with lots of first-time home buyers, and spend a lot of time doing financial literacy, talking about the home buying process. I do a little bit of advice on credit and how to prepare for the homeownership journey and prepare for approval. So really in my role, I really, like I said, feel like I'm very mission focused and get to help people along the way to financial stability through homeownership.
We understand that you have a newly formed department that is exclusively dedicated to being a good community partner. Can you tell us more about that?
Yes, absolutely. That is our Department of Corporate Social Responsibility. And that is the department that I have the privilege to report to. And actually, we like to call corporate social responsibility the heart of the bank. It's headed up by Scott McKee. He's our director at First Merchants, and he has just a heart for people, cares very much about the community, and this department was really formed to support our core values of being a great community partner. What we've done, I think, with this department is really marshal some resources. So we brought together a team that allows us to be strategic in helping communities. So we're really targeting communities that have a need for more opportunities to gain financial stability and economic mobility. So that's really what our corporate social responsibility department is all about. And again, I have the privilege of reporting to that department.
And your particular office or this new location is exactly where?
Right. So just before Christmas, Janice, we opened a branch in the Avondale Meadows community. It is on 38th Street, just east of Keystone. And my office is based in that, and my office is actually in that branch. So I report to that branch. And, you know, there are a number of reasons why we chose that location, but mostly because there was a real need there. So in the Avondale Meadows area, residents were having to travel quite a ways to a bank branch. It was something of a banking desert. So,
Yes.
so we have built a beautiful branch to serve the residents of that community. And I will say, you know, with COVID, you know, you and I we're not able to see each other. We're meeting electronically, and so we haven't really been able to connect with people face to face as much as we'd like. However, our branch is open. Anyone can feel free to schedule an appointment to come in to meet with me about a mortgage, schedule an appointment to talk about, opening an account. We work with small businesses. So just a full range of services are available to the residents of the Avondale Meadows community. Our drive-through is open. So we are ready to serve and have been very, very busy opening new accounts and serving the residents there. Actually, we have a really great Facebook page for First Merchants that's updated regularly with the activities that are going on at Avondale Meadows. So that would be a great place to check out.
Talk to us about the community benefits agreement.
Yes. So a few months back, we announced our brand new community benefits agreement, and that is a $1.4 billion community reinvestment plan. And it's going to span, 4 years, so all the way through 2025. And it's really focused on a number of things. It includes mortgages, it includes small business and community investing and lending. Also, philanthropic funding to our communities that need it most in Indiana, Ohio, Illinois, and Michigan. So that agreement is really designed to help to address the racial wealth divide, as well as provide opportunities for economic mobility and financial stability to people who need it most.
Give us some examples.
So we are, well, I can't tell too much because some of these things haven't actually happened yet. But we have funds that will be going to some of the local community development corporations, as well as the local nonprofits there in the Avondale Meadows area. In addition, actually opening our branch in Avondale Meadows is also a part of these new community outreach efforts that we have going on, trying to serve, again, communities that really have a need. So over the next several years, we'll be doing financial literacy as well. Right now, we're actually connecting with some of the nonprofits to provide financial literacy courses that include basic budgeting through courses that talk about home ownership for first-time home buyers. One of our major focuses will also be with the youth, being able to really reach young people, to teach them about money management. I mean, if you think about it, how many, I mean, Janice and Diana, did either of you take a course in money management when you were in school? Was that something that was taught when you all were in school?
I still haven't.
No.
Absolutely not. Yes.
Exactly. So that's really, really a need. It's not something that I ever had in school either. So being able to reach young people, to talk about money management, to talk about home ownership, and to really give them the knowledge and the tools that they need as they are moving through life and into the workforce, to be able to handle their finances well, to know that home ownership is really a cornerstone of economic growth and generational wealth, and to be able to provide them with the tools that are needed to really be financially successful.
So is that happening as we speak?
Those efforts are, yes, we are beginning those efforts even as we speak.
So just kind of like Diana said, giving an example. So it's a particular age group. I know you said youth, and you made I know when you and I were speaking, you said, all the kids know right now is Cash App. So, which I understand that because I have grandchildren that use Cash App. But again, just kind of walk us through what you're trying to help with this financial literacy.
Sure. So one of the examples is working with one of the local YMCAs to reach their membership. In some conversations, we found that as they were signing up members at the Y, a lot of the young people that were signing up, again, did not have bank accounts. So even something as simple as teaching about the need to have a checking account. That's part of the financial literacy that we're doing. So we will be reaching people from, kids really from as young as freshmen in high school. So 14, 15 years old, all the way through. Oftentimes, seniors may have questions as well for our bankers about investments and about handling their finances. So there's really no age limit on what we're doing.
Are you offering certain programs or products right now? So like if someone's listening, let's say a parent of a 20-year-old or maybe a 18-year-old, are there certain products that you are offering, like checking or savings accounts, earmarked or geared toward that younger person? And if someone wanted to open up an account, when they go into the branch, do they get a little bit more education around instead of just opening up an account, which like a lot of banks would do, I want to open up a checking, they would just open it up. Are you guys going to be giving like more educational information about how to manage an account and maybe balance the account?
Yes, absolutely. So we do have some special accounts for, college students, high school students, for people who have an account for the first time that are, designed to be very simple. And yes, our bankers are skilled at providing advice, answering questions. So when you schedule an appointment, you schedule enough time to go in and actually talk through the options. And again, our bankers will provide all the information that's needed, but also take the time to listen and understand what the needs of our clients are, and make some suggestions for account options that best meet those needs. So not only do I do financial literacy and financial education, but our branch bankers also do that. So they have a course also that is available to teach. And with COVID, obviously everything's being done electronically. So we will be scheduling webinars throughout the year, at least one a quarter, but certainly likely more, to be able to answer questions and provide advice on budgeting, checking and savings accounts, how to save, and then the journey to home ownership. So we'll be providing all of that information, both through me as a community home lending officer, as well as with our branch bankers.
I'm just curious, Cheryl, and I realize, of course, with COVID, but you made the comment with the community coming in, opening up checking accounts, things of this nature, and I guess they're doing it by however they're doing it. But share with us the age group. I'm just curious of the age group in the community, whether it's young, senior citizens. I'm just curious.
So, okay, Janice, can you clarify for me age group for our financial literacy courses, or that's coming into the branch right now? Kind of what
Who's
age
coming
group?
into the branch right now, and especially when you're saying opening up checking accounts? These are obviously people who have never done that before. So I was just curious of an age group.
Sure. So, again, anyone, so 18 or over, you can come in alone to open an account. If you're a minor, we need you to come in with a parent. But we are seeing people of all ages right now coming in to begin their banking relationships with us and to open accounts. So people of all ages now.
I think one of your efforts or initiatives is going to involve small business owners. Is that right? Did I hear that correctly?
Yes, that is correct. And in fact, I'm excited, particularly about in the Avondale Meadows area. We have a brand new branch manager, and he has a background in working with small businesses. So that will certainly be a focus
Yes.
for us in that branch. So looking forward to really being able to just talk with our business owners, find out exactly what the needs are, and do our best to meet those needs and provide resources to do that.
Sure, both of us have been in banking for a very long time, and so there's been small business loans around for a very long time, and we know that. But when I'm hearing and what I'm sensing from you is there might be, again, some education that your bank is going to be giving small business owners. Many of them don't know how to put their loan request package together. So do you envision that level of support? And then what about maybe underwriting or approving those loans? Do you envision any type of flexibilities maybe that might be part of the underwriting process? Because it sounds like the community where you're located and where you're going to be focusing, it's going to be a minority communities, minority borrowers, and many of them just don't have that background. So do you envision First Merchants going that extra effort to make sure they're educated and prepared, and possibly might even might be able to, any loan requests that they have, they may also have a little bit more flexibility when it comes to underwriting?
Sure. So yes, we are in the process of working with our business bankers to make sure they have the resources to work with small business owners who may need some additional hand-holding through the process. We do have some flexibility with our underwriting, And in addition, we have some partnerships with other lenders that if there's an opportunity that comes along and it's not something that we're able to do, that we do have, options available, other resources outside of First Merchants, to provide what's needed. So just trying to make sure that we're a good community partner. We spent a lot of time actually in the community listening, and had some good conversations with small business owners about these very things. So, and what that's allowed us to do is to really go back to the table and to work on our educational packages and the information that we provide, as well as lending products and our relationships with other lenders so we can meet needs.
So you mentioned the Y. That sounds like that's one of the community partners. So are there other community partners that you can share?
Yes, so we have been working closely with some of the local CDCs.
Okay.
So the Northeast Alliance is one that we've been working with. Also, we're planning to work with the Black Pastors of Indianapolis, as well as some of the other religious organizations as well, being able to, provide funding as well as financial literacy courses for church members who might need those.
I think that's excellent.
I do too.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
we thank you, Missy, for your time today. The information is excellent. We will want to have you back on, maybe once maybe in about 6 months. By then, you will have some stories to tell us on how successful First Merchants is being, and we are very happy that you're in that Avondale Meadows area. I mean, that is an awesome area, has a lot of promise, and it's great for you guys to be there.
Is there any particular number that they can call? Specifically, would they call you?
They can call me. Yes, they can call me directly. My office number, 317-566-7611.
Okay.
So that's the best place. Also, feel free to reach out via email. My email address is staylor@firstmerchants.com. So I look forward to connecting with and talking with anyone who has questions about this home buying process or about financial literacy courses.
Very good.
Very
Thank
good.
you, Cheryl.
Thank you, Cheryl. You have a
good
great
one.
day.
Okay, thank you both so much for having me on.
Sure.
Sure.
So that sounds like fun.
It does.
And exciting for the community.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. It's always been still a very stable neighborhood.
Yes.
I'm just kind of interested in, I just know it's going to be a great success.
Yes.
There's no doubt about it. Of course,
Right.
you have, the Y. I know so many people who go to that Y. Actually, I went there for a hot second with some friends of mine, just because I was in the area. But like I said, a very stable neighborhood, and probably, I'm sure, more outreach maybe with senior citizens. I know that's always seems to be a need, and in that particular, location.
I love the plans to reach out to the youth and get them educated. It'll be nice to see how that actually works.
Right.
Because that would be something I'm sure we'd be interested in talking more about on the show. So, Janice, why don't we take a minute and just kind of catch up with what's
think she's
going
still
on
on,
in real estate?
What is going on in real estate? Well, once again, I just know that people just maybe get tired of saying, why is that girl always talking about, it's the seller's market? But that's okay, because again, we've had numerous guests who've talked about the fact of, hey, this has been, last year was a great year.
Yes.
So we want to still encourage buyers. Right now, of course, we've got tax money coming, right?
Yes, we do.
So, we be encouraged about trying to save some of that money. Yes. There's no ifs and buts about it. But just go ahead and just push that button, start that process. We really don't want you to wait until the last minute. For those of you that are renting, find out, one of the things you want to do some homework, find out when your lease ends, number one, but also, is it 60 days notice, 30 days notice? Just don't say, okay, this is February already, you guys, so I'll get a phone call and say, well, my lease.
is up March 1st.
Huh?
March 1st. Or February, my lease is up March 1st.
Yes.
That's the phone call.
That's the phone call. She's absolutely right. That's the phone call. Well, that may just be a little bit of a challenge, but anyway, we're just wanting you to go ahead and just put yourself in a situation, but get started early. If you haven't defined a realtor yet, I'd be glad to help you. Again, my number is 317-590-7348. But one of the most important things is to go ahead and get your pre-approval. You really want to know where you're coming from. I always say you need to know where you're coming from to know where you're going to. But that's because I'm visual, and so I see us in one place, but I need to get to this place. Well, how do I get there? How do I get from front to two, right?
Right.
Okay, so that's what that's just me. That's just me personally. So again, you want to talk to Diana. Diana can give out her website where she can share with you to start really applying so that you actually know where you stand, right where you stand. We also want to encourage those that maybe have lost their homes through a bankruptcy or a short sale or a foreclosure, something of this nature, to remember that, hey, you can buy another home within 3 years. Is there any kind of exception to that, Diana?
There are exceptions
Just depending.
sometimes when, yes, when the borrower has lost income in the household unexpectedly, especially if it's the separation of, maybe there's been a divorce and
Okay.
there's been income that's left the household, or someone has passed. Probably more the exception is going to come if someone has passed.
Let's talk real quickly, though, about bankruptcy situations. I think we can get through that pretty quickly, especially the difference and then when they can also buy a home.
Okay, so there are two different types of bankruptcies. One is a Chapter 13. The other is a Chapter 7. The 13 is a bankruptcy that will actually allow you to buy a home while you're in a 13. A 13 is basically a reorganization of your debt, and you can actually buy a home while you're in a 13. It just needs to be approved by the bankruptcy court. So it's kind of a little different approval process, but that's certainly permissible. The other is Chapter 7 bankruptcy. A Chapter 7 bankruptcy is where you're forgiven most of your debts. I don't want to say all, because maybe if student loan debt or taxes are involved, those may not be forgiven. That's going to be up to you and your bankruptcy attorney. But nonetheless, typically, if the bankruptcy does not include real estate, then you would be eligible for mortgage financing 2 years after the discharge date. If the bankruptcy includes real estate, then we want to make sure that your name has been off the deed of that real estate for at least 3 years. And so it does maybe take a little bit of research, but like Jenna said, it's life after bankruptcy. Sometimes bankruptcy is necessary. What I would say is, if you're in a financial situation, certainly one that you do not see yourself being able to work out, this is an opportunity maybe for you to kind of reorganize things, whether that's a 13 or a 7, and take your life back, because you can restore and you can rebuild, and that includes home ownership if that's something that you would like to do.
So Diana, if it's been a year, let's say, since my bankruptcy has been discharged, and whether it's 13 or 7, so share with us the time frame if someone really knows my goal is to still buy a home. When should they really start? How do they get started again?
I would say if your goal is, whenever you decide that your goal is to buy a house, especially whether it's in the next 12, 24 months, 36 months, you should, in my opinion, you should reach out and partner with a lender at that time. You want the lender to review your credit, let you know where you stand, also suggest anything that you might want to do to, strengthen your credit. You might even have to take care of some debts that you didn't realize, even since you filed bankruptcy, even though that's been discharged. I still see medical debts, and I still see cable bills and little debts that still pop up and can affect your credit. So you can't get started too early. The other thing is, if you need to save money, then you might need a little bit of time to save. And so getting started early is going to allow you to plan. It's also going to allow you to know if you need to take any action steps. And certainly if you need to save money, it's going to give you ample time for you to start saving money so you're ready when the time comes. You just can't start too soon.
So Diana, let's just talk a little bit about, and I don't think I have I was going to check and see if I had that list, but you know it by heart because you're the financial person. I always love to talk about what, in today, with today's rates, and I just may not have it, but I don't think our buyers really understand, for those who are renting, the price range house that they can buy. So if, I don't want to have to just look for it right now, but let's talk about different price ranges. For those of you who are renters, and let's say you're paying $900 a month, so Diana, right off the top of your head, that would be a price range house of?
Oh, that's going to be maybe 135 to 140, 145. It's kind of it's one of those things like what Janice is saying is good for you to know. Even if you're not buying a house, know the power of your rent money. I mean,
point.
what you could actually be, what price home you could actually be buying. So, it's kind of like moved up a little bit. 150 used to be the magic number.
Right.
And that was $1,000 payment. It's somewhere still in that ballpark. 200,000 is probably around $1,300. I'm saying that simply because a lot of folks are paying rent. That's
Exactly.
13 and 14 and 15
Exactly.
and 16. Which is why I believe there's a lot more buyers in the market, because I think that's what's causing buyers to say, if I can rent, because a lot of people have been fearful, they don't want to lose a house, and so they think renting is safe. So they prefer to rent just because they're wanting to be safe and they don't want to lose a house. But after paying this rent and it keeps going up, a lot of more people are looking into purchasing a home. And again, that's a call that you can make to a mortgage lender. Just ask them, hey, I'm paying this much in rent. How much could this translate into for a house? When we're giving you the price of what you could use your rent for in order to buy your home, we're talking typically a FHA loan with minimum down payment. So we're talking 3.5% down, closing costs and prepaids, and would be also added on top of the down payment. Many buyers today are buying homes using down payment assistance. The Indiana Housing Community and Development Authority, we love. They offer a wonderful program that provides down payment assistance, a significant down payment assistance that in many cases not only covers your down payment, but also covers your much of your closing costs, if not all of your closing costs. So like any other decision, any other goal we want to accomplish in life, we first start by making a decision that that's what we're going to do. Now, time frames are going to vary, but buying a home is no different. If you're making a decision that you want to buy a house, also have an idea probably when you want to be able to do that. The next thing you really want to do is involve the money person. That's if you do not have a rich uncle who's going to make a donation to you.
Absolutely. And I'm going to say this real quickly also. So anytime we're giving you a payment, it's going to include your principal, interest, taxes, and homeowners insurance. And the reason I'm saying that, because so often people will look at, home buyers will look at Zillow or something of this nature, and you'll see only principal and interest. They are not giving you the taxes and homeowner insurance. So that's what we call misinformation, okay? So anytime you want to know a payment, you make sure it involves the total payment, principal and interest, taxes, and homeowners insurance. All righty? And we certainly thank you for tuning in today. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.